I don't want to offend homeless people because I've gone and interviewed homeless people, and it's a real thing. There's really, really great people just like you and me who fall on hard times. So with that said, I'm just going to have a little fun. Joe Biden is now Hobo Joe. Joe Biden is now Hobo Joe. And Joe Biden has really, I mean, he was vice president for 8 years, a senator for 30 years. You would think this guy, the doors are being leveled. Everyone's knocking down the doors to give money to Joe Biden, right? Well, apparently not. Apparently Joe has fallen on some tough times. Joe Biden, he dropped in fundraising. He only raised $15 million the last 3 months. Most of that money came from rich people and fat daddies. He does not have significant grassroots fundraising support. Not at all. So Joe Biden, who previously, when he started running, said, "Oh no, I'm against big money in politics. I'm against big money in politics. I don't like super PACs. You know, we're going to run a grassroots campaign here." Grassroots meaning standing on the grass of all the mansions he's touring all around the world. That's what he means by grassroots. Like the grass that he's stepping on has roots under it, I think. So Joe Biden, you know, he can't compete. He can't compete on ideas with Bernie Sanders. He can't compete on volunteers with Bernie Sanders. He can't compete on energy. He can't compete with people, crowd size. You know, Bernie had over 25,000 at the Queens rally that he just had. And he certainly can't compete with just enthusiasm. I mean, Joe Biden, frankly, is a relic of the 1980s and 90s running in 2019. So Joe Biden, his campaign now realizing we're not going to be able to make it through South Carolina. We're not going to be able to even have enough money to hire, keep the staff. We're not going to have enough money to, pay the bills. Joe Biden is now begging for dollars.
He needs help.
And as such, needs that super PAC money. So Hobo Joe, no offense to my homeless friends because I've interviewed a lot of you. Hobo Joe now opening up, parting the seas, opening the doors for his billionaires and millionaire friends. Help! I need somebody. Help! I need anybody. Just anyone. Oh! Are those the right words?
That's the right words.
So, great work by Colin Tooley, as always. Joe Biden is now open and essentially calling for super PAC help. Let's get the CNN article. So, Joe Biden, a coalition of top Democratic strategists and donors are intensifying conversations about setting up an outside group to bolster Joe Biden's presidential candidacy. People familiar with the matter tell CNN, aiming to create a super PAC designed to fight back against a barrage of well-funded attacks from President Donald Trump. Is that true? Is that why they want the super PAC? To fight back against a barrage of attacks from Donald Trump? Or do they want the super PAC because they're running out of money? The idea of building an outside organization has been the subject of discussions for weeks by Biden allies, but the conversations intensified in the wake of a cash crunch for the former vice president's campaign. He reported last week having less than $9 million in the bank, significantly less than his leading rivals. Well, $9 million. That's all you got in the bank? Former vice president of the United States? Only $9 million left. Although he sits atop or near the top of recent polls, Biden's lackluster financial performance has set off rounds of public hand-wringing among Democratic establishment figures about his ability to competitively fund his campaign through the battery of state primaries early next year. So, what's really unbelievable about this whole thing, what's amazing about this, and we could also show the tweet, this is from Biden's campaign manager on an outside super PAC coming on in. Quote, "It's not surprising that those who are dedicated to defeating Donald Trump are organizing in every way permitted by current law to bring an end to his disastrous presidency." Translated for those of you in the back, hey, some things that are wrong, some things are wrong but still legal. we're doing whatever we got to do within the confines of the law. And even if we break the law, they're not going to come after us. Because remember, Hillary Clinton broke the law by illegally coordinating her campaign with her super PAC. So Joe Biden's campaign, they're not messing around. They're just openly saying, hey, we get it. You know, there's middle class Joe here, union man Joe. You know, you could, we get it. There's a lot of patriotic billionaires out there who, you know, want to support Vice President Biden. And, you know, who are we to tell them not to do something that is legal? I.e., let's get back to the Biden graphic. Help! 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 Iceberg! Right ahead! Iceberg! Right ahead! I don't have any enthusiasm. I don't have any real support. I can't even get people to give me $5. Super PAC, help me. And of course, and I've always called Joe Biden Hillary Clinton with a penis. I mean, I don't want to be crass, but that's just the truth. And now Hillary Clinton is talking about wanting to run again. Oh my Lord, I can't take any more. I can't take any more of this. So, Joe Biden, who, when he first launched his campaign, was pretending to be an everyman, and I'm middle class Joe, and we're not going to do super PACs, and, you know, basically trying to play on Bernie's turf, because Bernie has moved the needle so far to the left and so far to what's called ethical politics, where we're funded by people, not billionaires. He's just waving the white flag and saying, I'm not going to win if I don't have a super PAC or multiple super PACs. Well, you know, maybe he needs to look at his friend, President Hillary Clinton, who had multiple super PACs, who outspent Donald Trump 2-1, and is now spending her time smearing war veterans, smearing Green Party candidates, and God knows what else Hillary Clinton is doing. I mean, personally, I think it's wonderful that Joe Biden is doing this. Because the truth is, because we have a corrupt media in this country, because we have a media that has continued to push this nonsense that Joe Biden is a warrior for the middle class, and he's middle class Joe, and he's union man Joe. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, if you look at the polls, there's a lot of people making $50,000 or less that support Joe Biden. There's a lot of people with only high school degrees that support Joe Biden. And that is the working class of America, white and black. That is the core of the working class. That is Bernie Sanders' base of support, and that is President Trump's base of support. A lot of people who are hoodwinked. So these people are now going to see, oh, Joe Biden is taking all this money from billionaires? They're not paying attention to the fact that Trump is, because Trump is way more of a salesman than Joe Biden is. Way more effective of a salesman. Trump, during the election, will pretend he's not going to take the money while taking the money, and his voters will be nonetheless. But there is that base of voters who might have voted for Obama initially, switched to Trump because they're fed up with the neoliberal order, who might say, wait a minute. No, this guy's not looking out for us. This guy's not middle class Joe. Maybe I need to take another look at Bernie. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com, where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.